Ever get that feeling, like you're just a little different? Like maybe you walk into a room and just know things.
Yeah.
Or you feel this weird connection with, like, stray animals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get ready, because today's deep dive is going to make you question everything. We're going deep on 7 surprising signs you might be, wait for it, chosen.
Okay.
Now, before you roll your eyes off the charts, let me explain.
Yeah.
We're diving headfirst into this transcript we found called Texto Colado.
Right.
And it's a wild ride, let me tell you, full of all these mystical claims about what sets certain people apart.
Interesting.
But don't worry, we're not starting a fan club or anything.
Okay.
Think of it as like a playful peek into the psychology of feeling special,
I like that.
And what makes these ideas so alluring in the first place? So Texto Colado, if you're buying what it's selling,
Yeah.
claims that one of the first signs you're chosen is that strangers just can't resist spilling their guts to you.
Oh, wow.
Like you're Oprah in the grocery checkout line or something.
It's funny how common that is, right? You
Right.
get that experience.
Yeah.
But the source, it really taps into something very real, the human need for connection.
Yeah.
Sometimes a stranger, they just offer that safe space to unload, because they don't come with any of those preconceived notions
Right.
about who you are.
Right. Like a completely fresh start.
You're a blank canvas
Yeah.
for their emotion.
It's true. I've totally had those, like, we just bonded over discount laundry detergent moments.
Uh-huh.
But Texto Colado takes it like a step further,
Okay.
saying this is about attracting those who need your divine light,
Oh.
your healing energy.
I love how I love that the source uses such vivid language, right?
Right.
It really speaks to the power of intuition, which Texto Colado says is another big sign.
Okay.
Not just your run-of-the-mill gut feeling, but
Right.
consistently sensing things that other people miss,
Yeah, yeah.
making decisions that seem crazy to everyone else, but they always seem to work out for you.
So less about, like, predicting the lottery number.
Right, right.
More about trusting your inner compass,
Exactly.
even when logic says otherwise.
Exactly. It's what's fascinating is how this connects back to psychology.
Yeah.
Like our brains are actually wired to recognize patterns, even unconsciously.
Right.
So this knowing, it could be years of experience and observation just like distilled into a split-second judgment call.
Right, right. Like Texto Colado frames it as this mystical gift,
Mhm.
but maybe it's our own minds playing Sherlock Holmes.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about those times when your intuition feels less like Sherlock and more like your mainlining espresso?
Yeah.
Sign number 3 in Texto Colado is all about feeling everything
Oh, wow.
so intensely. It's like living life on a tilt-a-whirl.
The source describes it as being like a super feeler,
Okay.
easily overwhelmed by emotions.
Right.
Both your own and those around you.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not you believe that this is a, spiritual awakening like the source claims or just good old-fashioned sensitivity, the impact is real.
Oh, absolutely. I'm basically an emotional sponge.
Right.
But Texto Colado warns about the potential downsides, too.
Saying these chosen folks, we need to be careful not to get drained
Yeah.
by all that intense energy.
Right. It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
The source talks about, like, grounding practices
Okay.
to create healthy boundaries.
Right.
It sounds, very new agey.
Yeah.
But think about it. Spending time in nature, meditation.
Right.
Those are proven stress relievers.
But they are.
Regardless of your spiritual beliefs.
Right.
It's like putting a buffer between yourself and the world's emotional static.
So instead of trying to shut down that sensitivity,
Yeah.
it's more about learning to channel it. Exactly. It's like you have a superpower that you're still learning to control. You wouldn't blame Spider-Man for accidentally stepping to walls, right? It's about mastering those abilities, not erasing them.
Okay, you ready for some more signs you might be chosen, according to Texto Colado?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay, so this next one's interesting. Apparently, if animals and kids, gravitate towards you, it's not just because you've got, a killer snack stash or anything.
Right.
It's deeper than that.
Right. The source is hinting at something beyond, the usual animals can sense fear kind of idea.
Okay.
It's saying children and animals, they're drawn to this unique energy of chosen individuals.
You see?
They see a pureness,
Okay.
an innocence that resonates with their own.
So you're Snow White serenading woodland creatures, but instead of singing, it's your aura doing the talking.
Exactly. Texto Colado suggests this energy is especially noticeable to those who haven't, built up the same walls and defenses that we have as adults.
Right, yeah.
Kids and animals are more tuned in to that raw, like authentic vibe.
Makes you think about what we lose touch with as we grow up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, on to sign number 5. And this one might hit home for, like, the night owls listening.
Huh. Mm-hmm.
If you're constantly, like, waking up between 3 and 4 a.m., Texto Colado has a theory.
Oh.
And it's not just that you need to lay off the coffee before bed.
Okay. Interesting.
Right.
This is where the source gets really, really interesting, I think.
Okay, yeah.
It dives into this whole concept of the riching hour.
Oh, spooky.
Right. A time when the veil between like the physical and spiritual world is the thinnest.
Yeah.
According to Texto Colado, these like pre-dawn hours, that's when chosen individuals are receiving messages and insights and downloads from a higher power.
Okay, even, I gotta admit, that's kind of cool.
Right.
Like, it takes those frustrating sleep disruptions and it's like, oh no, it's a mystical hotline to the universe.
Right, exactly. And think about it just practically for a moment. When else are you surrounded by that kind of stillness and quiet?
That's true.
It's prime time for introspection, even if you don't buy into the whole like spiritual portal thing. Texto Colado might be onto something by pointing out those, that unique energy of those early morning hours.
Makes you want to, like, swap those sheep counting apps for a dream journal, huh? All right, on to sign number 6.
Okay.
And this one resonated with me. Texto Colado claims that if you've always kind of felt like an outsider,
Yeah.
a lone wolf,
Right.
it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
In fact, it might be a sign you're destined for bigger and better things.
This is a common thread in a lot of like spiritual traditions.
Yeah.
The idea of the wounded healer or the shaman who walks a solitary path.
Mm-hmm.
Texto Colado echoes that here, saying that chosen individuals often, they don't fit neatly into societal norms. They just have a different set of values,
Okay.
a unique purpose that kind of sets them apart.
So those times when you felt like you didn't belong, maybe you're just meant to create your own tribe.
Exactly. And that sense of not needing to conform,
Yeah.
of like forging your own path.
Yeah.
That can be incredibly powerful. And Texto Colado is suggesting that these individuals, they're comfortable with solitude, which brings us to sign number 7.
Oh yeah, speaking of solitude.
Right.
This is where Texto Colado dives headfirst into, like, full-on chosen one territory.
Yeah.
It claims that, like, finding peace and rejuvenation in your own company,
Yeah.
like, that is a major sign you are cut from a different cloth.
It's funny how often we associate being alone with loneliness.
Right, yeah.
But the source, it flips the script.
Yeah.
It's saying solitude is crucial for these individuals to recharge, to connect with their intuition,
Right.
tap into their creativity.
It's like they're saying, forget FOMO. Embrace JOMO, the joy of missing out.
There you go.
But seriously, like, think about those moments when you're truly, truly by yourself.
Yeah.
With no distractions. There's a certain magic to that. Right.
Absolutely.
Like a chance to really, truly listen to your inner voice.
Precisely. And Texto Colado argues that chosen individuals, they don't just tolerate these moments, They crave them. They understand the power of disconnecting from the world to reconnect with something deeper within themselves.
Okay, so we've made it through Texto Colado's 7 signs of, being chosen.
We did it.
We did. From, like, attracting those grocery store therapy sessions
Right.
to finding that power in solitude. I've got to say, even if you don't, like, buy into all the mystical stuff,
Yeah.
it's been, like, a fascinating ride.
It really has. And it makes you wonder, like, why are these ideas so universally appealing?
Right,
Is
exactly.
it just wishful thinking?
Yeah.
Or is there, like, something deeper at play?
Right, like,
Yeah.
we all have those moments where we feel a little bit psychic. Or,
Right.
or we connect with an animal in a way that seems, almost magical.
Yeah.
And I feel like Texto Colado just takes those experiences,
Totally.
and cranks them up to 11.
Exactly. And I think that's the key takeaway here. Whether or not you believe that you're, chosen in some grand cosmic sense or not, tapping into your intuition, embracing your sensitivity, finding a comfort in solitude.
Yeah.
Those are all pathways to living a more conscious, authentic life.
Totally. It's like Texto Colado is saying, hey, you have all these amazing qualities inside you.
Right.
Don't be afraid to own them.
Yes, exactly.
And that's a powerful message.
Yeah.
No matter how you slice it.
Absolutely. And it's a message that like resonates across cultures and throughout history.
It's true.
That idea that we all have a unique purpose,
Right.
a gift to share with the world. That's a powerful motivator for self-discovery.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe it's less about being chosen
Right.
and more about just choosing to step into like the fullness of who we are.
Beautifully said. And who knows, maybe that is the real magic of Texto Colado.
Yeah.
It encourages us to look at ourselves and the
Right.
world around us with
Yeah.
a renewed sense of wonder and possibility.
I love that. So to all our listeners out there, whether you're like a full-blown chosen one or just, curious about exploring your own potential, remember this. Your journey is yours to create. Embrace your quirks, trust your gut, and never be afraid to shine a little light in the darkness.
And hey, if you happen to make a new best friend in the produce aisle while you're at it, even better.
That's right. This deep dive might be over, but the conversation is just beginning. Head over to our website, share your thoughts on Texto Colado. Let us know if any of these signs resonated with you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.